I learned from that was here's a person who's trying to feel or is feeling grateful for being loved and being protected. That's
Sure.
what I saw.
Sure. And I was
Am I
genuine.
wrong in my assumption?
No, absolutely not. And I genuinely enjoyed the company, and I genuinely enjoyed the love and care I was getting from, because I was मैं 24 साल का बच्चा था. He was, I think he was in his late 30s or 40s, late 30s or early 40s or something. Abhishek, Rohan, and so they were. It's but natural they were being protective towards me, and coming with my background, industry kid, and माँ नहीं है और complicated है, and I felt like everybody did feel a sense of कि नहीं इसको थोड़ा
Yeah.
प्यार देना पड़ेगा, संभालना पड़ेगा, which also kind of played negatively on my mind, because it did remind me of my childhood where people used to give me pity love. तो वो भी एक तरीके से मुझे
पसंद नहीं था
और मुझे उस तरीके से मुझे महसूस हुआ कि क्या यही हो रहा है. मेरी माँ नहीं है, कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सिचुएशन है, बाप के साथ रहता नहीं हूँ, क्या इसीलिए मुझे लोग प्यार दे रहे हैं. I felt, but I mean, it's normal. It's been a normal thing, but I enjoyed every moment of it with Rani. I enjoyed every moment of that bonding and love. Not just with Abhishek and Rohan and specifically, but it's just I think I'm a very simple guy. You give me love, I give you love back. It's very simple.
How did you eventually now today maneuver through controlling yourself, not becoming bitter, and then trying to heal in finding love in relationships?
Yes.
Because it impacts you.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. It was a journey, Rudrani. I'm not saying आसान नहीं था. तो अभी भी आसान नहीं है. I'm not saying it's easy now, but I've found ways to be grateful, if I may, if not happy, and of course, but not. I won't lie and say I'm completely healed. I'm not. I don't think I'll that'll take its.
It'll take a long time.
They'll take its time, sure. But I think growing up does you wonders, Growing up does you wonders. I think life does wonders to you. Life, God's timing, divine timing. Failures, heartbreak. All of that is some huge teachers in life. I think your biggest teachers are, as once the great Robin Williams said, a broken heart, an empty wallet, and a hungry stomach will teach you the hardest lessons of life. And I've had, if not all, at least two of them. It was hard not to be bitter, Rudrani. I'll
Specifically ask you that question also because you have काफी time से you were very happy being the clown.
Yes, sure.
But that is also a cover-up of
Sure.
what you're going through inside.
Sure.
I just want to add to the ongoing question.
Sure, yeah. Defense mechanisms, coping mechanisms, if I may. You look for anything, grab onto anything that can give you temporary happiness, may it be substances, may it be disconnecting from life or disconnecting from reality, or I have tried my hand at everything, all kinds of ways to cope, if I may. But finally, I think I've arrived at a place in my life where I don't need anything but love. I need nothing but love, and not pity love, not ki acha isko.
Just love.
Just love. Love from my family, love from my friends, my dogs.
They're beautiful.
Yes. You can say that again.
Yeah, I love dogs anyway. Sancho.
Sancho is, no, he passed
I
away.
know,
He
but
passed, yeah,
I mean, I used to see those
yeah.
pictures, and it almost felt like, you know, I know him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That, which is why I mentioned Sancho.
Yes, Sancho, yeah. God rest
Good
his-
dog.
He's in doggy heaven
Yes.
playing. It's a beautiful time right now, Rudrani.
Among the few other things
Yes.
that you at that time were talking about, and I'm talking about the time when this was during Dhobi Ghat, right? That was your official, that, you know, they call solo, or that
Sure.
that movie. That there's a term that they keep saying.
Yeah.
You of course were in Jaane Tu Jaane before that. You were still okay talking about the fact that you had experimented with substances and that you went through addiction at that early age. But at that time, I
Yes.
didn't reckon any young actor who was going through something and admitting it
Yes.
and telling people, because you were trying to fight your own journey.
I was, yes.
It is, and I want to know how you were able to do that. And, you know, because it started very, very early for you.
Yes, unfortunately. I wanted to clarify anyway. If people were under the impression that I started abusing drugs and alcohol because I saw money and fame, that was something I needed to clarify, because that वो money and fame तो बहुत बाद में आया. मेरा
There was pain.
हाँ, कठिनाइयाँ बहुत शुरू से हो रही थी मुझे. I was finding a way to escape from a very young age. तो मैं पहली बार rehab 15 साल में गया था. So I was, and that was kind of a short stint, but the more the more prominent stint was when I was 18. So it was happening from a very young age already. It was not like कि अच्छा ये फिल्मों में आया, पैसे वैसे देख लिए, फिल्म देख लिया, लोगों से, you know, लोग फैन वैन बन गए और अपनी, मतलब, you know, ईगो पे थोड़े, you know, हवा में उड़ते हुए मैंने नशेबाजी शुरू की. वैसे नहीं था. It was different. It was something that I've been battling since a young age. I didn't want people to think of me as
Someone who had lost way because of power. Or
power and money and जो भी fame. And मैं अंदर से मुझे बहुत गिल्ट फील हो रहा था. मेरे चाहने वाले थे, फैंस थे, और वो सिर्फ पर्दे पे जो आता है उस आदमी को जानते थे और वो कैरेक्टर्स को जानते थे और उसी में उनको खुशी मिलती थी, you know. और मैं उस वक्त मैं इतना डूब गया था मैं नशे में कि मैं उसके बिना मैं सांस नहीं ले पा रहा था. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, अगर मैं आपके साथ इंटरव्यू में बैठ रहा हूँ अभी, तो उसके पहले मैं 2-3 घंटे में अच्छे खासे मैं नशेबाजी करके सेट हो जाके फिर मैं आता इंटरव्यू के लिए. तो ये मुझे अंदर से बहुत लिटरली मेरे खा रहा था अंदर से. It was literally eating me alive, that I'm sitting in front of somebody who admires me. For example, you've been very kind and told me that you've been a fan of my work, and, you know, we've had great conversations, and we've had a friendship. And for me to be talking to somebody and investing in me and showing love towards me, and I felt like I was cheating everybody who loved me, my family, my friends. सबको मैं धोखा दे रहा था, मुझे ऐसे लग रहा था. तो मैं लगा, मैं ये जो कुछ भी हो जाए, मुझे काम मिले नहीं मिले, मैं ये धोखा नहीं दे सकता उन लोगों को. लोग मुझसे प्यार करते हैं और उनको अब इसके बाद नफ़रत भी करे चलेगा, लेकिन मुझे सच बोलना है कि इन लोगों ने मुझसे प्यार किया बिना मुझे जाने, सिर्फ पर्दे पे देख के प्यार किया मुझे. तो वो मुझसे यार मुझसे रहा नहीं जा रहा था. मुझे जो भी हो जाए मैं सच बताने वाला हूँ. That's why it happened. That's why I made the decision to come clean. It's a disease. It's addiction is a disease, and we must talk about it. We must take help. We must talk about it. Skin disease हो जाए या हम जाके मदद लेते हैं
जी,
इसके लिए भी मदद लेनी ज़रूरी है. अगर आपको there's no two ways about it. We have to talk. we have to get help.
Can we tell?
Mental health is a real thing.
And we will get into that. And I know rehab must have been difficult, but you are sitting in front of me.
Yes.
You went in and out of addictions at different points in your life.
Yes.
If I'm not wrong, when you were that early, you almost OD'd.
Yes. 3 times.
Few times.
Yes.
You must have felt so alone, and the shame of it must have been crazy. Because Prateik, how did you?
Shame is something I've unfortunately have felt since I've been very young. I was ashamed of my family situation. I was ashamed of not having parents. क्योंकि हर जगह में जाता हूँ उनकी सबके मम्मी पापा आ जाते थे, सबकी मम्मियाँ सबके पापा है, और मेरे पास मेरी नानी है या नाना है, या कभी कभी मेड आ जाती थी, या कभी नानी बिजी है या नाना नानी बिजी थी तो मेरे साथ नैनी भेज देते थे कहीं. तो उससे मुझे शर्म आती थी पहले से ही, बहुत बचपन से शर्म आती थी. कज़न के घर जाता था, अरे सबके माँ बाप हैं. Embarrassment is not a nice feeling.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a nice feeling. But you know, with all of that, Rudrani, with all of that, these are all adversities, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm so bloody proud of myself that I have gone through all of that as a kid, as with the drugs, almost OD'd a few times. Like I said, my guardian angel, she was watching me, she was protecting me. I wasn't supposed to go. I wasn't supposed to go. If I was supposed to go, I would have gone. And you know what an overdose is?
Yeah.
It's either here or there. Either you
make it.
You make it or you don't. I'm protected. I know I'm protected, and I'm so grateful for my guardian angel. Abhi tak I'm a lucky man today. I have 3 guardian angels, and I'm extremely protected. But I'm so proud of myself, Rudrani. I am extremely proud of myself, my journey, for all the adversities I've overcome. It was tough, Rudrani, because you get boycotted, you get labeled, you get outcast. Sorry, I went into
Again, I'm very proud of you. If you're finding difficult.
No, I'm not. I went into just another lifetime. You cannot boycott people. You cannot outcast them. You cannot.
Did you get help from people around you?
Oh, absolutely. I was very fortunate to have my family who were extremely upset with me, but they were there. They were there. I was perceived differently by society. Parents told their children to stay away from Prateik. That's been there since I've been almost 12 or 13.
Must have been difficult.
12 or 13 years old. But all of it, can you imagine? All of it, Rudrani, when I think about it, I want to pat myself on the back. I held on. Maybe I didn't want to. There were a few times I didn't want to hold on. But she wanted me to hold on.
So you did.
And I did.
That helped you through rehab, the whole process?
Yes, and you know, it's not, rehab is not easy. It doesn't, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It didn't work for me. Every time I went to rehab, the second I came out, the next few weeks, I was back into being an addict, you know. For me, it was a decision of self-reflection, and it somehow just came automatically out of me. When I decided, नहीं ये नहीं करना, ये गलत है, तब मैंने वो किया. और 2019 को मैंने जाने तो शूट किया. 18 I was out of rehab, 19 I was shooting Jaane Tu, and I was back being an addict. I shot Jaane Tu, and I was back being an addict, and I remember I was 21 years old, just before Jaane Tu released. I said, nahi, ye galat hai. I remember that. I remember it was just so clear cut in my mind every time I've made that decision. I said no. And it was literally cold turkey. Unfortunately, I couldn't stop smoking cigarettes. अब अभी भी बहुत कम हो गए, लेकिन अभी भी है unfortunately, but that's something that's a tough one. You know, वो अपने अंदर से ही आता है यार. आप जब डिसाइड करते हो ना, आपको जब अपने आप को शीशे में देखते हो और शर्म आती है, तब वो अपने आप हो जाता है. मैं बहुत चाहता हूँ कि लोग जो इस ऐसे कठिनाई से गुजर रहे, तो यार सोचो यार बहुत. और मैं भी नहीं, मेरे बारे में छोड़ो, जिंदगी दुनिया देखो क्या हो रहा है. पैलेस्टीन में क्या हो रहा है, बच्चे मर रहे हैं यार.
Scary place.
It's a scary world यार, ये दुनिया यार.